WryTron Weekly. We are brought to you by PickAdvisor.com. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you check out the website, PickAdvisor.com. I'm Cape. I am the host of the show, and I got with me, as always, the other part of WryTron, Joey Tron. How you doing tonight, Joey?
Howdy, hey, doing well. Got some college basketball on, ready to talk about some different sports, ready to have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. So tonight we're going to break down three college ball matches for tomorrow, Thursday. We're also going to talk about the UFC main event. And after that, we'll have a little discussion about these four playoff games that are coming up in the NFL this weekend. You ready to get started?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll when you are. Let's dive into it.
Perfect. All right. So, first game we're going to talk about tonight is Indiana at Illinois. Indiana is 11-6. They are 7-9-1 ATS, 11-6 to the over under. Away, they are 1-4. They are 9-1 as the home team, but that doesn't come into play here. Illinois is 13-5, 11-7 ATS. The total is 9-9. And they are 9-1 at home, which is really good. So, Ken Palm has Illinois ranked a higher team. Obviously, Illinois is strong on both sides of the ball. Illinois has won their last four and four of their last five. They're a great shooting team, not too great shooting the three. They're really bad free throw shooting team as well. Indiana, on the other hand, has lost four of their last five. They're strong on both sides of the ball as well. They shoot the three well, and they play well around the basket defensively. So they could give this Illinois offense some problems. But let's see what you have to say about this, Joey Tron.
Yeah, one big thing I was going to highlight was I strongly believe that Indiana is really going to give Illinois a problem down low, near the rim, from the mid range. But one place I think they're really going to hurt Illinois is behind the perimeter shooting threes. If Indiana gets hot and shoots those threes, they're very similar to Penn State in this aspect. Once they start shooting those threes, they're not stopping. They're just keep going and going. But one thing I really want to highlight for Indiana, they are 3-0-1 against the spread, coming off a game where they scored 50 or less points their previous game. So I really like that trend, and I don't know. Indiana might turn the ball over a few times every now and then, but giving them almost four full possessions on the spread, I feel like that's too much even for a team that struggles on the road.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be closer than what the numbers suggest. As we talked about, if Indiana can make these threes and defend that basket well, Illinois might have a little trouble than they think they're going to have. But home field, home court advantage is huge here, I think.
One last thing I want to say about this game.
Mm-hmm.
This really reminds me of the earlier in the season with Indiana and Xavier. That was Indiana's first true road test for the season, and they won. I think they won by like 3 or 4. They were, I think, a 1 or 2 point favorite, covered that. So I think this is a really similar road test for them, and I think again with the 7 points, I think they can cover.
Yeah, so your lean is to Indiana to cover on the spread.
Oh
Seven
yeah.
points.
Mhm.
What about the total? Any
I'd
thought?
play the over. It's at 146.5.
All right. So yeah, both teams getting into 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I like it. All right. So we'll move on to our second game. That is going to be the USC Trojans at the Arizona Wildcats. USC is 13-5. They are 10-8 ATS, 8-10 to the over under. They are 2-2 as a away team. Arizona is 15-3. They are 6-11 and 1 ATS, and they are 9-9 to the over under. They are 9-1 at home. So yeah, we have Arizona as a better ranked team on Ken Palm. Arizona is coming off a loss. They are a very dominant offense. USC has won their last two. They play defense well, so I think they're going to give Arizona some problems. But I think in the end, Arizona's offense is going to be enough to keep them outside of that number. What do you think about this one?
I think differently. I think USC is going to keep this one really close. You really don't know what Arizona team you're going to get. One night they're scoring a lot, playing great on defense. The next night they're barely scoring. Like, look at their last two losses to Arizona. They put up 61 against Washington State, a team that's ranked 64 per Ken Palm, and then they put up 68 against Oregon. Granted, Washington State was home, Oregon was away, but still, game in between, they drop 86. You don't know what team you're getting when it comes to Arizona. So I would lean towards taking USC with those 7 points. I don't really care much about trends on like specific days of the week. Like, of course, oh, so and so whatever spread on Sundays. Well, yes, that's football. Every game is on Sundays, but specifically Arizona is 0-8 on Thursday games. Take that for what it's worth. But I don't know. Certain conferences play on certain days, and if you can't win on that day of the week, kind of sucks for you when it gets to conference play.
I have a nice day trend coming up for you in a little bit.
Uh,
But so I guess you lean it under as well.
Yeah, I like the under, and I like USC with the 7 points on this one.
All right,
Close defensive game.
I could see it. I could also see Arizona running away with it. So we'll go to our third game, which is Michigan at Maryland. Michigan has a 10-7 record. They're 9-8 ATS. Over under is 10-7. They are 1-2 away. Whereas Maryland's 11-6. They have an ATS of 10-7, 5-12 to the over unders. They're an under team. They are 8-1 at home. Get Maryland is the higher ranked team on Ken Palm. Yeah, Maryland's good defensive team. They're good offensive and defense team. So my biggest thing here is they just played a little bit ago, and they played in Michigan, Ann Arbor, and they beat Michigan won 81-46 against this team. Obviously, I think this one's going to be a little closer since it's in Maryland, but I like Michigan here. I also like the over. 6 of the last 7 games in the series have gone over the total. So what are your thoughts here?
I like Michigan with the points as well. I don't think this game will be as crazy as the 81-46 game. Maybe like 80-50. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I think Michigan will cover the spread on this one. Both teams have mutually, in my opinion, they both mutually regressed since that game. Michigan's gotten 2-2 straight up and against the spread. Maryland's gotten 1-2 straight up and against the spread. Granted, with that game in hand, it's about the same. I don't see why Maryland would be favored in this game, even at home. But Maryland struggles to shoot, and they're offensively ranked 150 or worse in field goal percent, 3-point, and free throw percent. So with that being said, even if they get to the line and they get dead ball time to shoot the ball, chances are they're going to miss. And with the full possession with Michigan, I think that's worth it. And I like the over as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think every time we have Maryland on the show, we both fade Maryland, and fortunately for us, we both catch the right tickets.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll move on to UFC. There is a pay-per-view this weekend. The main event for the light heavyweight championship is Glover Teixeira against Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill is your favorite at -130. Teixeira at +110. We're in Brazil, where UFC started. Every match has a Brazilian fighting someone else. So I guess the big thing here, I know we talked about this pre-show. Hill is the younger fighter by 12 years. He's taller. He's a longer reach. He's a power guy. He's aggressive. I guess my biggest thing is he hasn't faced that great of competition. He's only 7th ranked, getting a chance to fight for the belt. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's going to have to defend the takedowns. Teixeira is good at the takedowns. He likes to draw out the matches. He's not a flashy guy. He's more of a IQ fighter, smarter guy. Wear him down. Yeah, so I think if Glover could get him down to the ground early, that he's going to have a great chance at this. Otherwise, I think Hill's going to have to do something quickly. The longer this fight goes on, I think it better fits Teixeira more.
Yeah, I agree. The longer the fight goes on, this fight will favor Teixeira. Hill really reminds me of McGregor. They both have a southpaw stance. Hill's knocked people out in his last 5 fights in a row. 3 of those 5 came in the first round. So I really feel if Hill's going to get the win here, he's really going to have to go for a quick strike in the first 2 rounds and get that knockout. Because otherwise, this is either going to be a submission for Teixeira or he's going to win by split decision by judges at the end of 5 rounds.
Yeah, I'd like to see a Teixeira submission. Would be nice.
I want to see a Hill knockout in the first round, just electric.
We could see that. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, as we said, I think that's how he wins the belt. Otherwise, it's staying where it's at right now. So I guess last we will go check out the NFL games this weekend. We got 4 of them, 2 AFC, 2 NFC. So I guess we'll just go in order. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Kansas City Chiefs. Any leans, thoughts on this?
I like the Jaguars with 8.5. That's also coming from a Titans fan. Just want to point that out. Chiefs are very streaky, they suck covering the spread. They've only covered twice in their last 10 times. One of those was a push, so you can say they're 2-7-1 against the spread. Their last 10 games god awful. I don't expect Trevor Lawrence to throw 4 interceptions in the first half against one of the worst secondaries in the NFL. Again, one of those day trends. Trevor Lawrence is a beast on Saturdays.
He's never lost on Saturday. That was going to be the trend I was going to drop you with.
Yeah, man. The guy's a beast on Saturdays.
I like the Jags, too. I like how the line's been moving. I actually saw a 9 this morning, and it disappeared really quick. So I think 8.5. 8's going to be the number it closes at. Yeah, I mean, Andy Reid and the bye week, we all know about it. These teams played each other earlier in the season. So if this number is what it was then, Kansas City actually would have covered it. But I think Doug Peterson is a big factor for the Jags here, and I think he's going to keep them close. Same thing. I don't expect them to go down real early and come back like they did against the Chargers and the Titans. You really can't do that against the Chiefs. So if that happens, I think this is a blowout. But I think we're going to see a close one here.
Jacksonville has not lost since that game against the Chiefs.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. They won every game since.
All right. So yeah, we're both on Jacksonville. Any thoughts on the total?
I would play the over, but you don't know. You really don't know, man. This can be a shootout similar to the Chargers game, or this could just be a low scoring 17-7 final. Truthfully, I really don't know. I mean, so
I lean it over too. I mean, we know that Kansas City likes to score, but I think the Jacksonville offense is going to be able to move the ball. They run it well. They throw it well.
They got to run the clock.
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a big game. I like Christian Kirk props.
Mm-hmm.
They're good to look at too. So second game is the New York Giants against my Philadelphia Eagles. The line's at 7.5. I know you like the Giants this week. Obviously, I like the Eagles. I think they cover this number. If Jalen Hurts is 100%, I think this isn't much of a game at all. Eagles have had the rest. They're the better team. They pretty much dominated the Giants since 2013. Yeah, I like the Eagles. Might be a homer pick, but I feel confident. Go ahead. Tell me about the Giants.
No. Other than my absolute despise for every Philadelphia sports team, no. I do think this will be a good game. I think it'll be close. My only issue is one thing you said earlier is if Jalen Hurts is healthy, that was a serious injury. No one's going to be 100% after that injury, even with all the rest he had. Do I think he will perform well? Yeah, I definitely think so. But I think this game is really going to come down to clock management. Same with the Jaguars and the Chiefs game. You know, both the Chiefs and the Eagles have electric offenses. They can get the ball and they can score fast.
Well, the first time they played, when they were healthy, that's what happened. Eagles pretty much choked them in the first half, and then in the second half, they just ran all over them. I kind of expect the same this week. A close first half, and then second half, the Eagles just run away with it. But I guess we'll see. Any thoughts on a total here?
I'd put the over.
All right. I kind of like the under. But we'll see. I'm thinking like 31-16. Something like that.
I don't know. I kind of like this game for a teaser. I think this game will be a good teaser with the Bengals and the Bills.
Yeah, you can put them with the Chiefs too.
Yeah, you could.
Good teaser week. All right, so the Sunday games, I think our first one is Cincinnati at Buffalo. I'm not going to be too much on this game. I like Buffalo. I think Buffalo wins. I think 5 is too much. Should be a close game. I do have a little concern with Cincinnati Bengals offensive line. Another guy went down, so that's trouble for them. But the Bills really haven't shown anything in the last few weeks, and honestly, I don't feel comfortable taking the spread. So, what do you think about this one?
I personally would not take either side if it's not teased, and I won't tease through 0, so won't be touching the Bills at all. But I don't know. I feel like both offenses are really questionable. No, I'm sorry, not offenses. Both defenses are very questionable. Look at the Bengals. They played a banged-up Baltimore Ravens team back-to-back weeks, and in my personal opinion, the Ravens could have won both games, in my opinion. Straight up could have won both games. Dolphins, Skylar Thompson, game of his life. Probably never see that ever again, but had game of his life against the Bills, and this is a repeat of the Monday Night Football game that never was. And I understand everyone's going to want to back Buffalo because of DeMar Hamlin, everything that happened. However, I just really feel between these two teams, I just feel Cincinnati and Joe Burrow would get the job done. So if I'm taking anything, I'm taking the Bengals on the money line.
All right. See, I was looking at the Bills team total over. So if I have anything, that's probably what I'll be on. Any thoughts on this total?
It's 48.5. It's very public to the over, so that would make me want to lean under. But knowing how these two teams play, look at what happened with the Bills game, playoff game last season. Look how many points were scored in the last 2 minutes. Like anything can happen. So I personally take the over in this.
Yeah, I agree, but I won't be on the total. So our last game is the Dallas Cowboys at the San Francisco 49ers. I think the line's at 3.5 now. I don't know. I kind of feel like this is an overreaction to the Cowboys beating up on the Bucs last week. This will be their 4th road game. They're on a short week, and the San Francisco team is really good in all places. Tampa Bay doesn't run the ball at all, so that was easy for Dallas to stop. You can't stop everybody on this San Francisco 49ers team. So I think, I'm going to wait to see how low this number gets, and I will be on San Francisco. How about yourself?
Yeah, there's 2 looks I like for this one. I personally like Dallas plus 3.5. I think Brock Purdy is a really good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but I think that the competition he's had so far has been subpar outside of the Commanders. He's gotten Seattle twice, the Raiders, the Cardinals. These are cupcake defenses that you can throw all over, especially when you got a guy like Deebo Samuel that can catch a 5-yard screen pass and run 80 yards downfield for a touchdown. Super easy. However, the Cowboys secondary is really good. They have forced an interception in each of the last 7 games. So one prop I really like a lot is Brock Purdy to throw an interception at -115.
It's not bad.
I think that's a good
Not
price
bad at all.
for an interception.
Yeah. So one thing about San Francisco, when they have all their guys on their field, Samuel, McCaffrey, Ayuk, Kittle, they actually average 15 yards per possession.
Sounds like friggin' Georgia football right there.
It does, and I think we might see something similar here with San Francisco.
So you're thinking Niners team total over, and then some.
Yeah. What's that number? I'll take them all.
I have no
I
clue.
think this is a blowout game. I think San Francisco wins easily. They're coming to Philadelphia, and we'll have it out.
I'm getting their team total. My guess is probably like 20 or 21.5. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, if that's what it is, I'll certainly take it. Brock Purdy's had at least two touchdown passes in every game he's played this season.
San Fran's team total is 24.5. Dallas is 20.5.
You like the over here?
Yeah, I like the over.
Lots of scoring. Yeah, I agree. That's my lean. But I'll be on the 49ers.
Don't like that one.
That's all right.
Listen, I hate almost every single NFC East team, even the Giants included.
Well,
But
obviously, I don't like the Cowboys or the Giants. But
I mean, come on, tell me a Cowboys Eagles NFC Championship game might be fun though.
yeah, that will work. Actually, I'd prefer that. Probably the easier path for the Eagles. But I just think it's going to be the 49ers.
It'd be nice to play a real team for once. I understand.
Crazy. All right. All right. So I guess we'll wrap this up. You want to tell people where they can find you, who you are?
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Betting Underdog. Tweeting out plays almost every single day. You can catch me in the Insider Room Discord, and you can catch me on pickadvisor.com at WryTron.
All right. Yes. And I'm RyCape. You can find me at RyCape pretty much on any social media. Also, check out my plays on pickadvisor.com. Also, my free play, Ride or Die free play of the day tonight is the Minnesota Timberwolves +10. I know Denver's been on a roll, but Minnesota has had the Nuggets number, and I think 10 is just way too much. So also make sure you check out the Insiders Room on the Discord. Like, subscribe to the YouTube page. Check out pickadvisor.com. Anything else, Joey?
Yeah, one last thing. Tron, the free play. Arkansas money line against Missouri. Tipping off soon. Go Razorbacks.
Let's go. See, perfect. So we got a whole bunch of free plays. We got free plays for today. And I guess all there is left to say is let's cash some tickets.